Hey guys, it's Kelly and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is really exciting. Check this out. This is the 2024 Chevy Traverse and I have been driving this thing for like 3 weeks now. I have a month-long loan and I want to show you how I would set this up for 4 kids in car seats. So I have 2 way more formal Chevy Traverse tours on my channel. So if you want to see like your typical, here's the cup holders, here's the ceiling vents, all of that, I'll link those in the description box below. This one's more casual, vlog style, to kind of show you how I've been using it for 3 kids and how I would plan to use it for 4 kids. Oh, and if this is your first time joining me, hey, I'm Kelly and I'm the car mom. I review cars for moms and for families. I'm a mom of 3, almost 4, like 2 weeks away from 4, and I'm a certified child passenger safety tech. Okay, let's get started. So the Traverse has received a major redesign for this 2024 model year. What I love about the Chevy Traverse is it's kind of a benchmark car. It's one of, if not the largest, midsize SUVs you can buy. So before you make the jump to Tahoe, Expedition, Yukon, Suburban, the Chevy Traverse is kind of like your last stepping stone until you're in the full-size land. So I tell a lot of families like who are trying to decide between full-size or mid-size, check out the Chevy Traverse. And if you feel like this is too small, well then you don't really need to check out the Ford Explorer or the Volkswagen Atlas because they're all smaller than the Traverse. On the flip, if you feel like this is way too big, then explore other cars in the midsize category. Because of the size, if I had to stick to the midsize category for 4 kids in car seats, I likely would buy a Chevy Traverse strictly because of the size. Now, I have the captain's chairs today. I am dying to get my hands on a bench seat to play with different 3 across combinations, but I have never seen one in person, so I can't confirm or deny how 3 across friendly it is without really playing in it. I will say the bench seats are going to be very rare in the Traverse because they're not available on all trim levels, and I haven't seen one come across my desk yet. So let's take a look on how I would set this thing up for 4 kids. Welcome to Car Mom headquarters, where we have so many car seats. I have played around with a lot of different combinations, mainly for my older 2 kids who go in the 3rd row. I'll show you what we have in there, but I'm going to grab the second half of this Evenflo revolving car seat for my 3rd born. I love using this car seat for rear-facing kids in cars with car seat tilts because it's a rotating seat, so you're able to rotate it forward-facing, tilt the vehicle seat for 3rd row access, and then take it back to rear-facing for the child. It's pretty cool. Click this thing into place. I'm a really big fan of this rotating car seat and most rotating car seats. Honestly, they kind of got bad PR because there was like a rumor that they were like not staying in the seat, but those were all debunked. The parents didn't have them secured. You cannot drive around like this because then it is easy for the seat to pop out. You have to make sure it's locked into place every time you drive. Okay, so here's how you can really utilize this Evenflo Revolve car seat with the Chevy Traverse. The Chevy Traverse is one of my favorite features called the car seat tilt. Done a ton of content, and I actually have a whole list on my website of vehicles that have this feature. What I like about this rotating seat is you can rotate it to forward-facing mode, and when it's installed with the lower anchors, you can actually still tilt this seat, slide it forward. It won't affect the car seat's installation, and then you have really good 3rd row access back there for those 2 seats. Now, let's say you have a vehicle that doesn't have the car seat tilt. I still think the Evenflo Revolve car seat is a winner because you can still have good 3rd row access this way. The children will just have to go around the aisle and head to the 3rd row. It's an added bonus that I can tilt the seat. And I think especially if you have children who are not really at the age where they're able to buckle and unbuckle themselves easier, being able to move the seat out of the way and go back here makes it so much easier. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on in the 3rd row. So I have my oldest in this Kiko booster seat, and I have my 2nd born in a Graco Slim Fit LX3. This is one of my favorite car seats for 3rd rows, for tight spaces. Really just at any time. I find it very versatile. The 3rd row headrests of the Chevy Traverse are not removable. However, they're not really that invasive either. I can pull this booster really fast so you can see it. They're not really invasive. They just kind of like lay they're honestly kind of a 3rd row headrest dream compared to some of the other cars in the class. So no headrest interference problems. And I was so excited because for 2024, they actually added a middle head restraint, which if you followed me for any length of time, you know that I always have complained that General Motors does not put middle head restraints in their seats until this 2024 Chevy Traverse. So good job, GM. This is a good seat. I'm a fan. Okay, let's talk about the 3rd row amenities. So you have vents on the ceiling, and the placement is stellar. Like, it is directly hitting the children in the car seat, so I'm obsessed with that. USB-Cs on both sides and a cup holder back there. So overall, good third row and decent leg room. So with this seat pushed all the way back, she would have like no leg room, but I appreciate when a vehicle has this kind of flexibility, because if you don't have a car seat back there, it's nice to give this person a lot of room. But realistically, I don't even need, I'm 6 feet tall, 9 months pregnant. I don't need this much room. I'm fine to go up quite a ways. Still very comfortable here, and now she has plenty of leg room. Something else I really like about the Chevy Traverse is this button right here. So there's two ways that you can utilize the car seat tilt. There's one on the bottom of the seat, but there's also one back here. So if you have children who are getting in and out of the third row, they can press this button themselves and get in and out. Don't worry, it doesn't work like when the vehicle's driving or anything, because that would be kind of dangerous. But I found this actually pretty helpful. Now let's talk car seat hardware. So when you get the captain's chairs, both of these seats have lower anchors and tether anchors. In the third row, you have 3 sets of tether anchors, which I love. However, a con is there's no lower anchors in the third row. Now, having lower anchors in the third row isn't a deal breaker to me, because car seats can always opt for a seatbelt installation. However, especially with something like this booster seat, since it's not secured, technically it's a projectile. So I like when manufacturers put lower anchors in the third row, and I always like to opt for booster seats that also have some sort of lower anchor attachment, just so I make sure like the seat's a little bit more secure and it's not going to, go flying anywhere in the event of a collision. So Chevy, if I had one note, it would be I want lower anchors in the third row. Okay, so before we get to what I would add for baby number 4, if I would be done with just my 3 kids in car seats, I'd probably keep this setup. I really like having this seat open for another passenger, for myself to sit back here with the kids, and just for really good, easy third row access for my second row children. I find that as soon as you have one back there, honestly, sometimes it's easier just to have 2 back there and leave an extra seat open. All right, so as far as what infant seat I would choose. Now the Chevy Traverse, it's a good size. There's no like load leg issues. There's no latch issues. Really, like, the world's kind of my oyster in terms of infant seats. But I want to show you what I probably would plan to use. And it is this Nuna Urban car seat. This is really cool because it is a baseless seat. So I just got this one and I'm like excited about it. Instead of having like your traditional base, these just go directly into the seat. So since I have kids in the third row, if I wanted to have very easy third row access and kind of keep that seat available for loading and unloading, this could be a really good option for me. This car seat is very light. And even with a baby in it, I would still be able to say, okay, kids, get in, get back there. And then to install it, I would just put the baby in here. Look how exposed the lower anchors are. Get a shot of that. That's kind of why I feel like this would work so well, because there's no like, sticking it through a bunch of leather or like some weird clips. They're just nice and exposed, and it will make it so easy to just click that into place. And it's installed. This is a freaking cool car seat. Great for travel, for people who live in the cities. But in my case, could be good to just kind of expand or extend my third row access a little longer. Let's talk trunk space. Let's talk double strollers with all these kids. Here's what we're working with. Honestly, it's really good trunk space with the third row up, especially for vehicles of this class, of this category. This is honestly some best-in-class cargo. Extra storage underneath here as well. We love to see it. Okay, this is the Zoe Twin double stroller. I know this is going to work because I put it in here a few times. Great. I've also done the Mockingbird double. You can do a Vista double. Really, you're going to have to get creative with where the seats go. But this definitely would work. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this quick little video on how I would set up a Chevy Traverse for my 4 kids. But really, with the space, the car seat tilt, the headrests, the tether anchors, you really do have a lot of flexibility on who can sit where, which I really appreciate. Let me know in the comments below if you like this kind of more casual style of videos. And thank you for bearing with me as I huff and puff at 38 weeks pregnant, getting all these car seats in and out of this car.